Hi, welcome back. I maybe 15, I think. To It's Loud in Here. It is Wednesday night at like 9:15. I just got home from a meeting. I went to an NA meeting out like an hour away towards Baltimore. A buddy celebrated 11 years. It was a really good meeting. I am tired. I am so tired. Last night we had thunderstorms. Which I used to love thunderstorms. I thought they were so fun and the thunder was beautiful and lightning is amazing. And then I got a beagle, and for the first few years of her life, I didn't realize it because I wasn't always home when there were thunderstorms, and I wasn't always home on the 4th of July. And I didn't know that every time there were loud boom booms, she had panic attacks, right? And then I got sober and I was home a lot more, and she has massive panic attacks. So she had to go to the bathroom at 1 o'clock in the morning last night. And then the thunderstorm started at 1:15 and they ended at 4:45 in the morning. So from 1:15 until 5 o'clock in the morning, she was having panic attacks, which meant that I was wide awake from 1:15, 1 o'clock when she had to pee until 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm tired. But I was thinking on the way home that maybe there's a direct correlation between, hi, Bug, it being a little loud in my brain and it also being a little tired in my brain. So maybe they go hand in hand. And the last time I was on this thing, I talked about how I'd gone to the doctor and I talked about my migraines and I'd gotten on new medication and it helped, right? Because I'd taken it the day before and it had gotten me out of my migraine, which was a really big deal. And I'd only been on it for one day. So I got some fun stuff to tell you about this drug I'm on now. And I'm going to show you something. So I told you I got this jumper, and that's not what I meant. And if I could pause this and it not just stop, I would totally change clothes in the middle of this, but I'm not going to just, well, I can't start over, and I'm not just going to run off screen and then not talk, and then it'd be weird. But look at this guy, right? So it's a little dress, but here's the fun part: is it's got shorts, right? So it's got this whole onesie thing underneath, which is amazing. Except I got to get naked to pee, and pockets. And so I was buying this thing called Free People Movement, and it's amazing, and I love it, and I've got 3 of them. And they sell it on the TikTok shop, and I tried to buy the cheaper one off TikTok shop. And I just have learned that sometimes spending the more money is in fact a better thing, because I got the ones off TikTok shop and they don't fit right. They're a lot of material. They're cheaply made. They look like a bell. I ended up getting mad at them, and then I ended up buying more from Free People Movement. But I love these things, so I wore this to the meeting and I love it. But so I wore the other thing last night to the meeting I went to last night because my buddy celebrated an hour away last night. Well, last night it took like 40 minutes to get there or something, and that meeting was really good too. So I started this drug for the migraine, and I had the 3-day migraine. I took this drug, Topamax, and the Imitrex, and it was gone within a half an hour, which was amazing. And I worked 10 hours the next day, and I didn't feel great than when I did the last episode. But this weird thing happened: is I took this Topamax, and then Diet Pepsi, which I love Diet Pepsi, it tasted weird. I was like, well, that's strange. And then the next one I had tasted weird. I was like, well, that's strange. And then the next one tasted weird. Well, maybe because there's not a window unit right in my kitchen, they got a little warm and they're tasting weird. Right? So this is where I'm going. So then I had another one, and I drink a little bit too much soda because it started as they were like a treat, because I had to wean myself off caffeine years ago, because I had way too many energy drinks in a day, and I was a little bit addicted to caffeine. And so they were a treat. And then at one point when these migraines started, I thought maybe caffeine would help. And then I just started having too much caffeine. So I would have at least 6 diet sodas a day, which is way too many. So I might have gotten myself addicted to caffeine again, if we're honest about it. So I started taking the Topamax, and the diet soda started tasting weird. And I was like, maybe my entire 30 pack of Diet Pepsi from Costco went flat. So then I looked it up on the interwebs, and this Topamax, I can't taste carbonation anymore. So I haven't had soda my last Diet Pepsi was Saturday morning. I opened one, I finished it, and I haven't had one since. So that's it's a good thing, but I miss Diet Pepsi. And in my head, I remember what it tasted like when it was good, and I want one so bad. But if I open one, it is going to taste like the worst thing on the planet. And I don't mind flat soda. I don't mind warm soda. I grew up in a household where we kept the soda in the garage, and you put it over ice if you wanted the ice. I can drink warm soda. I can drink flat soda. It is not either of those things. It is the worst thing you have ever tasted in your life. And I would open the soda anticipating an actual good taste and get the worst thing on the planet. So I can't do that. And then it also makes me tired. My brain feels like it's floating in mud a little bit. Like my body goes first and then my brain follows along after that. So I feel a little bit slow. I know I might not act like it. I promise I feel a little slow. I guess I'm just adjusting to this drug. But I get menstrual migraines and I didn't get one this month. And that is a really big deal. So the drug is working. So I am going to keep taking it and keep hoping that I don't have to live in the grips of these fucking death migraines, man. Yes, my brain's been a little loud. I have said before on this, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I've heard a lot of things. They make me think a lot. And my brain just goes a mile a minute all the time. It just really does. And that's a weird thing too, right? Because it does go a mile a minute. And I have ADHD and I take Adderall to help. We've talked about it. Like, I just get trapped in my head and I can't climb out of it. And it's like being paralyzed by your own brain, which is an awful feeling. And now I've got this Topamax, right? So the Adderall helps regulate the paralysis of my brain. But now I've got this Topamax, which is trying to slow down the brain, which Adderall doesn't slow down my brain. It just kind of pulls it into focus. And now I've got this Topamax, which is trying to it's like my brain is in bubbles. And it's so weird what's happening inside of me right now. It really is a weird bag. The other day I was cleaning a house and I went to do something. And this is not the way my ADHD works. If I only start something if I'm going to finish it. That is how I work. If it gets started, it gets finished because I obsess over something unless I finish it. I gotta have a this or this. I gotta go to and I don't always know. Like in a conversation, I might do a lot of this to get to this, but I'm gonna get to this, right? We're gonna hear, and I wasn't getting to hear, and so I started to do a bunch of other stuff while I was trying to clean this house, and I had to stop and be like, all right, you're gonna do this, and then as I was cleaning, I had to go dust, 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 just so I would dust, because I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind a little bit. Yeah. So it's a weird bag in my head, but so my mind is going a lot, and so I'm listening to this podcast, and I've talked about it on here before. How you can't say a lot of stuff on the interwebs. And I like the demonetization, but I'm guessing that's because Gen Z is a bunch of big babies, right? And I don't know. I just don't know how we started letting them cancel us. How we put them in charge of everything. I decided cancel culture is stupid. I just got really annoyed with it. I got really annoyed with the idea because we've talked about this before, like the idea that your past, that you're not the summation of your past, right? Like I'm not the sum of all my mistakes. And the idea that an idea you had 20 years ago could ruin your life today. Like the entirety of the rap world, they said the word nigga in every single song. And I sang it in every single song. Everybody did. If you went to a rap concert, everybody of every single race sang that word along with everybody in the crowd, including the rapper during every single concert. And it wasn't considered racist. And now, if you do so, I mean, I just said it out loud, you're considered a racist. And that doesn't make any sense to me because it wasn't used in a racist connotation and no one meant it as such. And now it can be used to cancel you. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And so now you can't say rape on the internet and you can't say molest and you can't say suicide and you can't say you killed yourself and you can't say all these things. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I was thinking about that. And then I have to apologize because I said that Andrew Cuomo was running for mayor again, but he wasn't. He was the governor of New York when he was forced to retire by Biden. But now he's running for mayor of New York City. So that's not the same, right? So this man who harassed at least 11 women can obviously run for mayor of New York City because he retired from governor. So it's clearly okay for him to run for mayor of New York City, even though he has all these harassment charges. Again, nobody cares about women. And then I was thinking about the couple that was killed in Minnesota, right? And I don't know if they're going to charge them as terrorists. And they either should because they're charging Luigi as a terrorist for killing the guy from United Healthcare, or they should stop charging Luigi as a terrorist. And I don't know, I can't remember how long it took them, to charge Luigi as a terrorist. Like, I don't know if the charges were made terrorism immediately when he was arrested or what. I can't remember. But the couple was shot, right? They were shot by the guy pretending to be a police officer. It's like, their goddamn dog. And I was talking to someone about this today, and I was listening to Jon Stewart, and I feel the exact same way as he does. I don't care about the why. And when this guy was going on his shooting spree, because he did shoot 2 other people and they lived, and he had this list. He had this list of Democrats, and which is just nuts. Like, just nuts. And then there was this rhetoric in the news and online, like, this is why he's doing it, and that awful fucking senator from Utah. And how are you going to be from Utah and be the bad guy? Like, I think that the Mormon religion is not one of our best examples of, sanity. Like, we got some, I do not, I don't generally think religion is good because it's generally the basis for some of the worst stuff in humanity. But we got levels of crazy, right? Like, Scientology is that's pretty high on my list of what is nutters. And the Mormons aren't too far from there. Like, go watch the episode of South Park about the Mormon religion. It's great, right? But in that episode, the Mormon kid, he looks at, I think it was Kyle, he was talking to, and he was like, I know our religion is ridiculous, but we're nice people. And I don't know if that senator is Mormon, but he's in Utah, so, like, be a nice guy. And that guy's a cocksucker. He's a dick. And the stuff he posted on Twitter was just awful. It was awful. It was awful. And 2 people are dead. And it doesn't matter what this dude who killed them political background was. He walked into their house, he pretended to be a cop, and he fucking shot them, right? And we, as a country, we need gun reform. We need gun control, and we need reform of gun laws. We do. We absolutely fucking do. And I remember my first actual job, not babysitting, because I was babysitting at 10 years old. I was babysitting at 10 years old, and there was this house down that, ironically, they were Mormon. They were nice. They were nice. They were nice. And they had a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and twin 2-year-olds. And I was 10 years old. Can you tell that it was a different time? And I was babysitting. I was 10 years old. I was babysitting a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and 2 twin 2-year-olds. And that was my first job. I was a babysitter. And so my first job was a babysitter. My actual first job, I was a hostess at a place called Memphis Barbecue, Reston, Virginia. I'm pretty sure it is a sandwich place now because the building is still there. It's in the shopping center that used to have a Heckinger's over off of, I think, Barron Cameron, as a matter of fact, over near the Reston Zoo. In any case, and I found out about Columbine while I was working at that job. And it rocked the world. It rocked the world when Columbine happened. I remember, it blew our socks off that it was possible that there could be a school shooting, that kids could walk in and kill other kids. We did not know how to process the idea that children could walk into a high school and kill other children. We did not know that that was a thing. No one anticipated that that was possible. No one. And I don't even bat an eye when children are killed anymore and there's a school shooting. I do not bat an eye. And I do not bat an eye when there are people killed. I do not bat an eye when there is another shooting. I do not bat an eye when there is a synagogue or a movie theater or a nightclub, a parade, a festival, a concert. We are desensitized as a nation because it happens all the time. And I hate that this broke me a little bit, but he killed a dog. And they're just innocent of all of our bullshit, man. Animals are innocent of our bullshit. They are innocent of our bullshit. And maybe the dog will do it. And I'm not saying take our guns. I have a gun. I own a fucking handgun. Again, I can't shoot it for shit. The zombies are going to eat me. Hopefully before my dogs. I don't want to watch them die. I don't want to eat them. Eat me first. Zombies will win. Something has to change. Something should change. Somebody should say, let's make a deal and change something, because the number one killer of children in America is it's guns. It's guns. That's how they die. It's guns. And I am going to play this game again with the 10 people that listen to this. It's very easy with me. Just don't be a hypocrite, right? So if free speech doesn't matter, and the right to assembly doesn't matter, and the right to due process doesn't matter, and the fact that a president can only hold 2 terms doesn't matter, and the right to free press doesn't matter, then the right to fucking bear arms doesn't matter. The Second Amendment is not the only one that matters. And a matter of fact, that one is the only one killing children. And apparently a fucking golden retriever. Since people get all up in arms about the fact that the LGBTQ plus community has an entire month and veterans only have a day, and no one cares that June is mental health month for men, well, let's talk about it. Because you know who loves to take guns and shoot people? Men. It's men. It's men. It's men. It's generally men. Men, and normally white ones, and it's men. So we have a mental health issue, and we have a gun problem, and generally it's men with guns, and we need gun reform. We just do, and that sucks. And they're not going to do anything about it, because they're not going to do anything about it, because I don't know. Because it's easier to watch people die than try to change. I don't fucking know. This country's stupid. And maybe we'll go to war with Iran, and we'll be in another war in the Middle East where we'll send fucking people to die for no reason, and we'll be in a war where they tell us one thing and we don't belong there. Maybe, right? It's kind of frustrating, right? Being an American sometimes. They like to pretend they have transparency, but they don't. I was watching Dazed and Confused earlier. Oh, I love that movie so much. And I definitely heard the scene where Matthew McConaughey was like, do you have a joint? He was like, no, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. And then the thing I love about high school girls, I keep getting older. They say the same age. Oh, God, I love that movie. But I was watching that, and the teacher was like, remember what you're celebrating this 4th of July. A whole bunch of aristocratic slave owners didn't want to pay taxes anymore, right? Why do we have to pay taxes? What if we just all stopped paying taxes? What if everybody just claimed a whole bunch of exemptions and just cut off the government? What if we all just did that? What if we cut off their funds because we didn't like what they were spending our money on, and we didn't like that they were kidnapping the wrong people? It's so funny because Donald Trump has said that he wants them to go to the blue cities, right? He wants to go to the democratic cities. He wants to go to sanctuary cities, and he wants to pick up the immigrants there. He doesn't want to go to the red cities. Like, do you know where there are more illegal immigrants? They're in Florida and Texas because they're cheaper cities. They're cheaper to live in. And you know who gets most? They run under this idea that illegal immigrants are voting and taking welfare and stuff and the programs, and they're not. Most of those programs go to, well, they go to red states. They go to Oklahoma, and they go to Alabama. They go to his voters. On the plus side, because people listen to RFK, most of his voters are going to die. I'm just kidding. Mostly. And then, so I was talking to this woman who I really, really like today, and I was talking about how we need this gun reform, right? And she made this comment about how maybe someone will just take aim, at Trump, and something will happen. And I can't be a hypocrite, right? And it wasn't okay that this batshit crazy man, made a list of Democrats to kill, and he went and he killed 2 of them, and he killed their dog. It's not okay. It's It's not okay. It's not okay to do that. So it's not okay to do this 86-47 bullshit. It's not okay. It is not okay to wish somebody fucking death. Because if somebody starts shooting all the Democrats, all the fucking woke left will be like, look at what they're doing. Look at what the fucking right's doing. Look at all the MAGA people shooting all the fucking Democrats. You are consistently putting online 86-47, you fucking hypocrites. What do you expect to happen? All you do is wish death on a man, and then when someone comes along and shoots your people, now you're all up in fucking arms. What do you think is gonna happen? You don't get to have it both ways. This is why people think you're fucking stupid. You don't get to do this. It makes you a fucking hypocrite. Either everybody gets to have an opinion, or nobody gets to have an opinion. Either everybody gets to be assassinated, or nobody gets to be assassinated. Either all the crazy people get to have guns, or none of the crazy fucking people get to have guns. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I will never fucking understand this country. Fucking ridiculous. Bernie Sanders. I wish we had just gotten him as president, man. We really blew it. We really, really blew it. I watched a movie or a show. I watched United States of Terror the other day. I watched it in 2 days, in case you were curious about how fast I can watch. I mean, there were half-an-hour episodes, but I watched it. But this is the way my brain works when I watch a show. There was a guy on it, and I spent an entire like 2 seasons watching this guy, and all I could picture was him in the corner. I pictured him in the corner, like masturbating, like creepy uncle, like that's all I could picture him doing. And then it took until the end of the show for me to figure out that he was the creepy brother in Wedding Crashers, who like shows up in Vince Vaughn's bed and like falls in love with him. And I was right; he really is a creepy guy, who it was inappropriate. I totally had something I was going to talk about that was not that. I pictured him masturbating to Vince Vaughn. That was absolutely what I pictured. Yes, I went to these 2 meetings, and my sponsor, Scott, that died, he was the best. I say that about him all the time. He was the best. I talk to him all the time. His pictures on my fridge. I just walk by, I tell him I love him. I miss him. There was a female cardinal in my yard the other day, and in the animal kingdom, the girls don't dress up. It's the guys. That's buns. Pretty sure the rats of Nim are living in my yard. So, like, not really. My dog would eat them. But when you pull into my little, like, pseudo driveway thing, in the corner, there's, like, this tree thing. And it's overgrown with ivy and stuff. And the rabbits that come in and out of my yard, mostly out, thank God, so I don't find carcasses, they are always over there. And all I can think of when I see them there is, 1, there might be a nest, and 2, all I can think of is the rats of Nim. And I've never seen a rat, but I have definitely had mice, and I've killed mice, and now all I can picture is the rats of Nim. All I can picture is the family in stone with the rain coming when they're going to drown, and the crow with the strings, and they have to lift it, and Jonathan... Mrs. Brisby? I cannot. I loved that cartoon. So now, yeah, the rats of Nip, they're living in the fucking corner of my yard. So, I'm so sorry for that one. So Scott, man, I loved him so much. And so him and Ursula, man, they didn't have all the things in the world, like they were fucking happy. And that man, he was so happy. And he lived like, he lived in gratitude, right? And so, like both the guys that celebrated last night and tonight, 11 years. They both celebrated 11 years. I didn't even think about that. But they both talked about how their relationship with God is such a big part of it. And to me, God is fake. But I live in gratitude. My entire program is based on gratitude and the knowledge that I don't deserve any of this. I don't deserve this life. I should be gone. Every day is a gift. I should have been gone by the time I was 29. Like, I am in debt for how much life I have been given, past that. So, Scott really did. Like, he showed me how to live in gratitude. And it's hard in these meetings sometimes because, God, man, people are they're fucking babies. I mean, there are babies everywhere. This world is just full of babies and excuses and whining and Man, it's so hard. Life is so hard. Life is fucking life, man. Life is a series of shit. You wake up, something happens. You go to bed, something happens again. You go to work, something probably happens. You go to bed, you wake up, something might just happen again. It's just being an adult. In there are going to be bills. Your car might break down. Your kid might need a cast. My dog probably will need to go to the fucking vet. It is just a series of dumb shit. Being an adult is just a daily reminder that being an adult is fucking annoying. It's just how it is. And that's it. That is it. I was telling someone the other day that life for me really is, because he was talking about, like, I don't know, kind of like being happy or whatever. And I was like, for me, life really is. It's just a series of this. That's life. It's not like the roller coaster where you're high, super high all the time, or you're super, super low. That's not realistic. Life for me really is. It's pretty much just stasis. I have amazing highs, and I try to stay out of those fucking valleys, man. I have great times. I'm going to see Jordan Jensen on Friday, and I have been living in that knowledge all week. I called Russ. Best friend is on his way with me on Friday. I am excited. I called Russ this morning and I was like, you know what? We are going in 2 days. He said it is 3 days. I said it is 2 days. He said it is Wednesday morning. That thing is on Friday night. It is 3 days. I said, why you always got to half empty my half full? This evening when I talked to him, I said, can I say 2 days now? He said, yes, you can. I said, bet. So I am living in the knowledge that that thing is coming. I'm going to geek. Again, when I went and saw her in Syracuse by myself, when it took 3 days for my hands to unclench from that terrifying drive home, I could not breathe. I laughed so hard. I am so excited. That peak is going to be a big ass peak, but I live in this. That is not always what I want because I have ADHD and I chase dopamine. I love dopamine, but this is what I live in. People look for excuses to be miserable. They look for excuses to whine. They look for excuses to use. If people are not sitting in a needle or in a drink, if they have been clean, like there's this chick that I know, man, she was just shy of a year. Just shy of a year. She was pregnant. She's like 5 months pregnant and she chose to go use drugs. She chose, while she was pregnant, she chose to use drugs. Then that same girl, months clean again, pregnant again, did the same damn thing. I have no sympathy for this girl. As a matter of fact, I think she's pretty fucking garbagey at this point. The dude who shared a night, he was like, when I got clean, I was told that I had the option for a better life, or I could look my son in the face and tell him, fuck you. Because he's exactly fucking right. We have choices every fucking day. And when I was watching Scott die, and I was watching him fight for every minute of his life, I just got sick of listening to people choose to say fuck you over and over again. I just got tired, man. It is hard to listen to people make the excuses to say the fuck you. I just got super fucking tired of it. I watched a guy 4 years clean and he chose that fuck you. And he's still in that whiny fucking bullshit. He posts that every fucking day he posts that bullshit on Facebook. It's gross. I'll never be able to look at him the same. He's just being a fucking bitch. And I watch it. It's disgusting. I got tired. I watched a man that I loved. 33 years sober. One of the best people I will ever fucking know. He taught me how to soar in gratitude. He taught my heart how to beat in thankfulness. And I was surrounded by people just being like, fuck you. And it's been hard. It's been hard to sit in meetings. It has. But I listened to these two men last night and night, and they just talked about it. And I just realized that being surrounded by people in recovery and playing on 3 recovery softball teams, it's not enough. And I need to get a home group and I need to go to more meetings. And I'm annoyed with my one recovery team anyway, because like the coach dude, he just fucking, I don't know why he just got to say shit to me. Like I'm 43 and it's church league co-ed softball. Like why do you have to tell me I need to do better than I did last week? Monday, man, he was like, you need to do better than you did last week. You missed a couple of ground balls. First of all, I didn't miss a couple ground balls. Second of all, why? It's church league co-ed. Why do you have to say anything? Come on, man. And then, you know what happened? Because he said that, I definitely missed a ground ball. Because now you've broken my brain. And now I don't want to play on the team in the fall because I don't have to pay to make someone make me feel bad about myself. Like I've said to a few people, I was born in 1981 and I grew up in an era where Kate Moss was the beauty standard, and I have never been Kate Moss skinny and never will be. So I am quite capable of making myself feel terrible about myself. Thank you. I am here all day for the insecurity train. So yeah, man, I just had a loud head after the meeting, and I think part of it is that I'm really tired, and I think part of it was that I realized I guess I need a little more AA in my life. And it's funny because I'll choose to drive an hour to a meeting instead of 5 minutes down the street because I know I'll probably get more out of the meeting an hour away because I won't focus on the mess. I'll hear the message instead because I won't be surrounded by people who I can just stare at and know that they get on my nerves, like when you don't know them, you don't know them. And so you can't see through them to their bullshit. And I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's good that I'm aware of it, but it's stupid being an adult. And now I've given up soda too. Like, I am going to say fuck until the end of my time. There was at a meeting one time and someone was like, at some point you'll be able to stop swearing. We'll make you a woman of dignity and grace. Well, now I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't drink energy drinks because they're carbonated too. I don't drink soda. Ugh. Keeping the fucking word fuck. So yeah, I guess I am gonna try to remember to be extra grateful, and I'm gonna try to be grateful enough for the program that mostly drives me nuts to find a new home group. And um, no, I don't know. I guess I should be grateful there are people that came before me who celebrated 11 years to remind me what I've been missing recently, and that I have the ability to come annoy you people with this stupid thing that I talk on, and that I have three of those to drive me nuts and bring me happy. And I started horseback riding lessons on Saturday, and I got a tin of mints to take them as presents. And I was just getting some for the horse I rode, but then I realized there were more horses, and I got to give them all the horses. And I got her to stop, and I got her to go, and then I got her to slow down when I want her to slow down. I got her to go faster. Her name was Sophie, and it was one of the coolest things that I ever done. And I was super, super excited. I praised her a lot, and then this woman was like, "I've never seen anyone have more fun on a horse than I did you," and so that made me feel a little retarded. I'm not gonna lie, like maybe. Maybe I was a little too excited. But I started horseback riding, and I'm going to do it again this Saturday. And when I was driving there, I saw these people on a bridge, and they had the No King sign and the democracy sign. And sometimes the world seems a little bit dark recently because people are stupid. I told someone yesterday, I was like, just because someone seems smart because they research something doesn't mean they're smart. Flat earthers spend a lot of time researching flat earth, right? But the earth is not flat. It is, in fact, round. I don't care what they say. We live on a globe. You can research something all you want, but if it is not true, you're just researching something stupid. So that just makes you very, very informed about the wrong thing. Right. And so I saw these people with these signs, and I just, like having a modicum of hope that maybe at some point, maybe we'll come up on the right side of things. Maybe we'll be able to fight enough that, I don't know, the tide will turn and someone will listen, and maybe Republicans just will start actually realizing what they're not fighting against. And I don't know. But it did make me teary eyed, and there's that gratitude, right? That you can see glimpses of hope. And I know that my life is good. I know that I'm lucky, and I know that I've got these three dogs. And at some point in my life, I'm going to figure out how to save enough money to buy a ton of land and rescue all the dogs. I am there. There's my wish board, to have a ton of land and rescue all the dogs. Right? Goals. Maybe that's it. I'll have horses and horses. Now I want horses. So yeah, so here's a goal. I'm going to horseback ride enough to make a big ass. Because apparently horse girls get a butt. So at some point in this, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to look at what I did. And I'll show you a donk. Not naked. I mean, that's inappropriate. But, so yeah, these are brief, but it was loud. And I'm hoping now I can go to bed because I didn't get any sleep last night. And it was a long day. And I've got one tomorrow. And we're coming into like this huge heat wave. It's going to be sweaty and gross. And yeah, man. So here's hoping that things get a little more hopeful and maybe people consider I don't know, just a little bit less of being cocksuckers because people die. I don't know why people lean into being jerks, especially when it comes to fucking dogs, man, because it's a fucking dog. So, Damn the Man, Save the Empire, and to the 10 of you that listen, just let me sort through this weird ADHD thing because when your head's in a bubble and it's ADHD, man, this is a lot. It's a weird drug. It is a weird drug, but no migraines. So we're going to consider all this a win because if I don't get any more migraines, that is a fucking win because migraines are fucking worse. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.